16. The function n equals negative 3b plus 24 represents the number of eggs, n, left in the carton after making b breakfast sandwiches. Identify the independent and the dependent variables. All right, so which do I have choice over or more control over? I have more control over how many breakfast sandwiches that I make. So the independent variable will be b, which is the number of breakfast sandwiches. Okay, which means the dependent, how many eggs I have left in my carton, depends on how many breakfast sandwiches I made. So n is the number of eggs left. Okay, now B, it says the domain is 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the range? Well, I'm going to make a little chart to help me out here. So the domain is what I put in, and the range is what I get out. So if I put 1, 2, 3, 4 in to that function, we just want to figure out the range. So if I put 1 in, I'm going to put 1 in for the B. So I'd have negative 3 times 1 plus 24. And negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 plus 24 is 21. So I'd have 21 eggs left. If I plugged in 2, negative 3 times 2 plus 24. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 plus 24 is 18. If I make 3 sandwiches, negative 3 times 3 plus 24. Negative 9 plus 24 is 15. And then 4, negative 3 times 4 plus 24. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12 plus 24 is 12. So that would be my range that goes with that domain. And then for part C, it says, is the situation discrete or continuous? So can I get whole numbers or can I get fractions and decimals as well? So if I'm talking about how many sandwiches I make, I can't make well, I could make a half a sandwich, but I guess I'm not going to make a third of a sandwich or a fourth of a sandwich or a decimal part of a sandwich. So I would say that this situation is going to be discrete. Okay, number 17, the function C equals 115n plus 220 represents the total lodging C in dollars for a stay at a vacation destination for n nights. A, identify the independent and dependent variables. So for the independent, what do I have control over, or what do I get a choice about, would be the number of nights that I stay in the vacation destination. So I'm going to say number of nights. And if I want to put a variable for that one, that would be n. Okay, and then the dependent, what depends on that? Well, my cost is going to depend on how many nights I stay. So this is going to be my total cost. And that said the variable was C. Okay, B, you have budgeted $700 for lodging for your vacation. Find the domain and range of the function. So I have up to $700 I can spend. So I would like to figure out how many nights that's going to be. So basically what I'm trying to figure out is 115n plus 220. I'm looking for what should I plug in for n to get an answer of 700. So I'm just going to try. I'm just going to start, maybe 2 would be good. So if I plug 2 in, I'm going to do 115 times 2 and then add 220. That gave me $450. So I have more to spend. So I'm going to try maybe 4. So 115 times 4 would give me 460 plus 220. That gives me 680. So 4 nights is $680. I'm guessing 5 nights is going to go over that. Let's just check. 115 times 5 and then plus 220. That goes over $700. So I can stay at most 4 nights. So when it was asking for the domain, I could, I guess, not choose to stay at the hotel, but I don't have to. The most I could stay is 4 nights. So I could stay 0 nights, 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, or 4 nights. And so my range is just going to be the cost that goes with each of these. If I don't stay at the hotel, but I did make a reservation, if I plug 0 in there, I'm going to get 220. If I plugged 1 in there, 115 times 1 plus 220 is going to be 335. If I plug 2 in there, 115 times 2 plus 220 will give me 450. If I plug 3 in, 115 times 3 plus 220 is 565. And we already know that if we plugged in 4, we got 680. So there's my domain, and there's my range. Okay, 18. The table below shows the force F in newtons needed to accelerate each object a meters per second squared. So what we're trying to do is just look to see if we can see a pattern. It kind of looks to me like things are going up 3. It looks like I'm adding 3 every time, and it says based on the pattern, fill in the missing force. So this first one, I noticed 3, 6. If I put a 9 here, it is consistent. Every single one is going up by 3. So that's the number that should go there. So let's look in the second one, object 2. Let's see, 8 something 24 32. Well, I noticed these ones are going up by 8, so I bet I can make these ones go up by 8. So notice if I put 16 up there, each one is increasing by 8 each time. So 16 is the choice that I'm going to put there. That's just looking for patterns. Okay, number 19, let S of t be the speed in meters per second of an object after t seconds of motion. Explain the meaning of each statement. So t is the number of seconds, and S is the speed. So this says S of 0. So in the parentheses is 0. So this would be 0 seconds. So before I've started going anywhere, my speed is 8. So at 0 seconds, the speed is 8 meters per second. Okay, S of 9 equals K means this would be at 9 seconds. My speed is K. So at 9 seconds, the speed is K. We don't know what K is, but that's okay, in meters per second. Okay, so now let's figure this one out. S of 10, at 10 seconds, this would be my speed at 10 seconds. And S of 15 would mean my speed at 15 seconds. And if this is a less than sign, that would mean my speed at 10 seconds is less than my speed at 15 seconds. So the object is going slower at 10 seconds than it is at 15 seconds. Okay, number 20, the function c of x equals 0.41x plus 45 represents the cost in dollars of a one-day truck rental when the truck is driven x miles. So A, what is the truck rental cost when you drive 100 miles? Well, 100 miles, they said that was the x. So wherever in this equation we see an x, we're going to put 100. So we'll put c of 100 equals 0.41 times 100 plus 45. And if we figure that out, we'll do 0.41 times 100. That will be 41. So 41 plus 45 will be 86, and that was a cost, and I believe it will be in dollars. So it'll be $86 will be my cost. Right. B, how many miles did you drive when your cost is $65.09? So this time they're asking for what should you plug in for X to get an answer of $65.09. Okay, so now just kind of thinking about this, we know for 100 it was $86, so it's going to be less than that. So let's try 50. So if we try 50, we're going to plug in 50. So we'll do 0.41 times 50, and then plus 45. And I did pretty good. I got 65.50, I think. So I'm just going to double check that. So 50 times 0.41 plus 45. Yes, so I got 65.50, which is close to 65.09. I'm going to go down a little bit, maybe 49. Let's see. So 0.41 times 49 plus 45. Oh, I hit it, 65.09. So we must have driven, it said how many miles did you drive? We must have driven 49 miles to get that answer.